Hello, geometry people. It's time to muscle through some square roots. This is video number 48, rectangles and radicals. We're going to apply what we've learned so far to finding area and perimeter of rectangles. Here's our first example, and we'll be doing some problems like this in class. Here's a rectangle, and the width is 2 times square root of 2. The length is 5 times square root of 5, and we want to first find the perimeter. To find the perimeter, we simply add up all the sides. We have 2 square root of 2 plus 5 square root of 6. That takes care of these sides. But we have 2 more. So we have another 2 square root of 2 and another 5 square root of 6. So we just combine like terms. 2 times square root of 2 plus another one is 4 times square root of 2. And if we have the terms with square root of 6's, we get 10 square root of 6. Done. That's the perimeter. So it's adding, so we combine like terms. To find the area, we have to do width times length. So that's going to be 2 square root of 2 times 5 square root of 6. We have 4 things being multiplied here. We can multiply them in any order we want. 2 times 5 is 10. Square root of 2 times square root of 6 is square root of 12. And we can simplify. So I'm going to break it up. It's 10 square root of 4 times square root of 3. This part is 10 times 2, so that's 20 times square root of 3. Wow. So, okay. So the first part, combine like terms. Second part, practices multiplication. All right. Let's up it a little bit. Do a little bit more complicated example. This is slightly more complicated because the length here has 7 plus square root of 6. Right, here we go. So find the perimeter. Well, we have 2 square root of 3 plus 7 plus square root of 6. Then we have a whole other set of those. 2 square root of 3 plus another 7 plus square root of 6. Looks like a mess. We just combine like terms. Those two give me 4 square root of 3. The 2 square root of 6's give me exactly that. 2 times square root of 6. Then we have yet a third type of term here. We have 2 7's. 7 plus 7 is 14. And I'm stuck with this. There's no way to simplify this. Every term is already simplified. So that's an expression for the perimeter. Now, to get the area, we have to do the width times the length, which is 7 plus square root of 6. Okay, this requires some distributing because we have this one thing times these two things. So 2 square root of 3 times 7, this times this, gives me 14 square root of 3. When I do 2 times square root of 3 times square root of 6, I get plus 2. When I multiply those square roots, I get square root of 18. Now, always when we're doing square roots, I look, can I simplify something? Not the first one, but the second one can. All right, so we're going to keep going. Plus 2 square root of 9 square root of 2. That's how 18 breaks up. And I can say this is 14 square root of 3 plus, that's 3 times 2 is 6 square root of 2. Both terms are simplified. They're not like terms. So we're done here. That's a 14 there. All right, last example. Okay, so we save the best for last. This one's a square, so all 4 sides are the same. So to find the perimeter, we can just multiply a side by 4. Okay, so here we go. 4 times 7 minus square root of 5. So we just distribute. 4 times 7 is 28. Then we have minus 4 times square root of 5. And it's just that. Okay, so the perimeter was easy for this one. Now, the area. This one is going to be tricky. 7 square root of 5 times itself. So I have a binomial times a binomial. So it's time for a box. So let's draw a box diagram. Okay, they're both the same though. 7 minus square root of 5. 7 minus square root of 5. 7 times 7 is 49. This is minus 7 square root of 5. So is this one. Now, the bottom box is tricky. I'm going to write it down here. Minus square root of 5 times minus square root of 5. A negative times a negative is a positive, and square root of 5 times square root of 5 is positive 5. Wow, this is impressive. So we're going to write what this is equal to. We have 49 plus 5 is 54. Then minus 7 square root of 5, and another one gives us minus 14 square root of 5. If you can do these problems, you are in great shape, doing awesome with square roots. So I have 2 for you to try. Here you go. So here's the journal assignment. This first one is like the very first example, okay? And the second one's kind of like the last example. We have 2 binomials here. So be careful when you multiply those together. You're going to need a box for this one. This one you won't need a box. All right, copy them in your journal and go ahead and solve them.